Last week I started with what I told you was going to be through Advent, talking about the gospel in the Peanuts comic strip. And, you know, one of the things that every preacher, and I imagine every public speaker, worries about is when we talk, is anybody listening? You know, I told Nick Benson when he was still here, trying to pass on some of my pearls of wisdom to young Benson. I said, it doesn't matter how good your sermon is if nobody's listening to it. Well, I got 3 confirmations that somebody was listening last week when I said I was going to use Peanuts over the neck. And that is, somebody got me the original book, the book I taught, and I got the updated version. What's interesting is, the original Gospel according to Peanuts that I actually had a college course on, it shows the price on it, $1.50. What do college textbooks cost now? This would have been back in 1973, okay? And there was a third thing I got. I can't remember what it is. Oh, the shirt. Recognize the shirt? The Charlie Brown shirt. I was going to get some shorts. Mrs. Moore advised against it. So I want to thank Tim and Pat for the books, and Tim also for the shirt. And I think I'm going to wear the shirt next week too. Why not? Okay, before we go any further, we have a video. Before we go any further, we have a video. With sound.
Hang on, stand by. Start with that.
Rewind.
Actually, Lucy, my trouble is Christmas. I just don't understand it. Instead of feeling happy, I feel sort of let down. You need involvement. You need to get involved in some real Christmas project. How would you like to be the director of our Christmas play? Me? You want me to be the director of the Christmas play? Sure, Charlie Brown. We need a director. You need involvement. We've got a shepherd, musician, animals, everyone you need. We've even got a Christmas queen. I don't know anything about directing a Christmas play. Don't worry, I'll be there to help you. I'll meet you at the auditorium. Incidentally, I know how you feel about all this Christmas business. Getting depressed and all that happens to me every year. I never get what I really want. I always get a lot of stupid toys or a bicycle or clothes or something like that. What is it you want? Real estate.
Okay, so next week we'll find out where Snoopy's going. But let's take a look at Psalm 20, just the first half of the 4th verse, before we go any further. May He give you the desire of your heart. Now, Lucy Van Pelt does not have a self-image problem. She's quite confident. She's the Christmas queen. She likes herself. But Charlie Brown comes to her for advice because she also fancies herself as a psychiatrist where you can get help for 5 cents. And she admits that she too sometimes gets depressed. And every year around and trying to help Charlie Brown. She says, I know how you feel, Charlie Brown. It happens to me every year, too. I get depressed every year at Christmas time. Now, I told you last week that Charlie Brown's problem, I believe, is being excluded. But Lucy's problem is she doesn't, at every Christmas, she doesn't get what she really wants. She doesn't get the desire of her heart, which is what? Real estate. That's right. I'd like you to take a few minutes with me this morning and think about what you really want for Christmas. What's the desire of your heart? For some people, it's the perfect tree. You know, you just can't have Christmas without the perfect tree. You gotta have the perfect tree. And different people go to the Christmas tree lot, if you're going to buy a live one, and people have different ideas of what the perfect tree is. It might be the way it smells. It might be the kind, it might be the needles, it might be how tall or how big around it is. Some people go and buy an artificial tree because it's, you know, it'll be the same every year. It will be perfect, just the way. So maybe that's your expectation of Christmas and what you really want. Maybe it's the perfect meal, whether you're hosting or attending. You know, I actually had somebody tell me, and my memory being one, I can't remember who it was, but they actually said, it's just not Christmas for me without my aunt's green bean casserole. Like, really? Yeah, I gotta have that. I grew up with that, and she still makes it, and I gotta have that. Imagine maybe if you're married, the desire of your heart, and it'll be the perfect Christmas if your husband has picked up on all the hints you've been dropping. I want to give you some inside information, ladies. He hasn't. He has not picked up on the hints, okay? One of the conversations I have with the lovely Mary is, I have this occasionally, is, I don't pick up on hints. Tell me what you want. I'll bend over back. And of course, what is her response? It's not the same if I have to tell you. Right? He hasn't picked up on your hints, I'm pretty sure. Maybe your desire of your heart and a perfect Christmas is that your kids will be well behaved, or you won't be rushing around at the last minute. Psalm 24 is a wish, somebody giving the hope that God will give you the desire of your heart. Now, the thing is, the desire of our heart tells a lot about us. Right? It says a lot about us. In Luke 6:45, it says this, for out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. If you're always talking about temporary things, then we know what's in your heart. If you're always talking about money, we know what's in your heart. If you're always talking about food, we know what's in your heart. If you're gossiping about other people all the time, that's evidence of what's in your heart. If you're talking about God, you're talking about Jesus, you're talking about love and kindness, then it's a pretty safe bet that that's what's in your heart. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. If people can figure out what's in your heart by the things you say, do you think God has any trouble knowing what's in there? He knows what the desire of our hearts are. Would you be so brave as to say what it says in Psalm 139, verses 23 and 24? Search me, O God. Know my heart. Test me. Know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. That's a pretty bold statement. Now, obviously, obviously, God already knows what's in our hearts. He knows why we do what we do, why we say what we say, why we think what we think. And so the statement is not so much for God as it is for us. Saying, God, I want you to take a look. I'm inviting you. Come and take a look at what's inside me. And if you find anything in there that's offensive, I want you to lead me in the way of everlasting life. What would God find if He came in and did a thorough cleaning in your heart? One of the things I find interesting at our house, and I don't think our house is a lot different than your house, is, when Christmas time comes, it's not a simple thing of putting up the tree and putting out the Christmas decoration. It can never be that simple. Everything must be cleaned, spick and span. I said, Mary, why are we cleaning behind the couch when we're putting the tree over here? Because that's what we do. We're going to clean. I'm not criticizing my wife. I don't think she's a lot different than a lot of other people. It's like, nobody sees back. I don't care. We've got to clean that. We've got to clean that. Before we can put the Christmas tree up, we have to clean the windows. Why? The trees on the back of the house, the only people that can see the tree other than people in the house are the deer that wander into the backyard occasionally. You have to clean the windows. It's a thorough clean, and that's what this is saying. God, do that with my heart. I want you to come in. I want you to look behind the couch. I want you to look in the closet. I want you to look in the attic. I want you to look in the bed. I want you to look every part of my heart, God, and see if there's anything in me that offends you. And I want you to lead me in a different way. God, let me know what you find. Now, the King James says, if there's any wicked way in me. See if there's any wicked. That's a little more scary, a little more serious and offensive, right? See if there's any wicked way in me and lead me in the way everlasting. Now, how many of you, growing up, played follow the leader? Okay, you play follow the leader. Everybody has. What do you need to play follow the leader? You don't need a board. You don't need pieces. You don't need dice. You don't need a spinner. You don't need the magic bubble like in the Trouble game. You only need two things. What do you need to play follow the leader? You need a leader and you need followers, right? Playing follow the leader with God is pretty simple. He's the leader. He wants us to follow. Okay? Simon Says. You play Simon Says, right? Simon Says, put your hand on your head. Simon Says, do this. Sometimes they'll trick you and say, okay, touch your ear, but they didn't say Simon Says, okay? As Christians, we should be playing follow the leader with God as the leader and Simon Says with God as Simon. Now, imagine playing follow the leader like this, okay? Somebody else is the leader, and I want to play. And everybody else is, going around doing a duck walk, doing things, and I sit here like this. And pretty soon, somebody, probably the leader, looks at me and says, Don, what are you doing? I'm playing. You're not playing. Well, I'm playing in my heart. What do you mean you're playing in your heart? We're doing follow the leader. We're playing Simon Says. Simon Says, okay, well, yeah, I'm playing in my heart. You're not playing at all. You're not doing anything. It's amazing to me, people who will do things that are contrary to the Bible. They won't follow a leader. They won't do what God says. In fact, sometimes they'll do things that are exactly contrary to what the Bible says. And if you call them on it, they say, well, God knows my heart. Yeah, He does. And He knows there's a problem. Because if He tells you to do something and you don't do it, you're not playing follow the leader. You're not playing God says. You can't sit on the sideline and not participate and say, well, God knows my heart. That's just a way of saying, I want to do things I'm not supposed to do, and I want to not do things that I am supposed to do, and I want a cheap excuse for it. If that describes you, then I want to suggest to you this morning that God wants to change your heart and what your heart desires, and He wants to lead you in the way everlasting. I'd like to give you a little challenge at Christmas time here. You can try this challenge for one day, you can try it for a couple days, try it for a week. I realize I'm going to exempt if you're buying Christmas gifts for somebody, okay? But I'd like you to try this. For one day this week, maybe for the whole week, for yourself, don't buy yourself anything unless you need it. It'd be a good way to check your heart's desires. Like I said, if you're buying gifts for the grandchildren, I'm not talking about that. Okay? Talking about buy nothing for yourself and do I need the mocha choca mocha triple kabunda thing every morning on my way to work? No, you don't. Do I need another whatever it is I'm collecting? No, you don't. I want to challenge you. See how long you can go. Don't buy anything for yourself unless you need it. And it's not fair to say, I need the mocha boca, choco boca. No, you really don't. Because if it went away, you wouldn't know. Check the desires of your heart. Ask God to come in and take a look, do some cleaning, clean behind the couch and in the closet and everything. Let's pray. Lord, I believe I'm in a room full of people that down deep want to follow you, want to do what you say. The biggest problem we have is we're human. Frail, faulty, make mistakes, get distracted and get off track. I thank you for your unchanging word written by an unchanging God. The standards don't change. You're not new. You're not altered based upon people's opinions or what time we live in. So the expectations on us are the same. They're dependable. We want what you want, but we can't do it on our own. Help us, we pray in Christ's name.